Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Hear me. Myself. My head. It's concerning. How's it going? How's everybody doing? That's good, love to hear it. You're going to hang out with me for just a moment. I have a new, I should say a new microphone. I figured out how to use an old one because my current one has stopped working. I just dropped a pauldron on the floor and it flew off to somewhere, I don't know. Anywhere. It's good. Wonderful. Try to find that really quickly. Great. I really hate that. Well, the show must go on. We'll find it later, I guess. You'll step on it, pick it up on my foot or something. Around the house with it. That'd be wonderful. Hi. Get that out of the way. I have to readjust everything every time. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I had to take a week off. Sorry. I'm a human. I got injured at work, and it was on my wrist. I don't think anybody wants to see my maimed hand. Not that I could really do much painting to begin with. Everything was good and wrapped up in bandages and gauze. It's not going to do an awful lot. I didn't do an awful lot. It was very boring. Don't injure your wrist. Do not realize the importance of your hands until you can't use them. But welcome back to the bench. We're going to continue our work on the heavy metal studio, Cadian Castellan. I'm going to take it apart real quickly. Get everything ready. Painted. I was a little behind today. Had to try to troubleshoot my microphone issues. My boom microphone just gave up. I don't know why. It doesn't want to talk about it. It just walked out on me. So I'll be all right. I just had to adjust because this microphone that I couldn't figure out how to make work now suddenly works. So different hat. I really wish I could find this pauldron that went flying. I'm so afraid of crushing it somehow. Alright, that's enough stalling. Let's get going. Ah, what was the last thing I did 2 weeks ago? I think I started to put down some metallics. I did the silvers, the green. I think it was the greens. I base coated the green. Yep, on the weapons and the cases on everything. I will show you here. Check it out. Very cool. We got some greens on the chainsword, bolt pistol. Look cool. Not too shabby. And I did I think I mentioned this before last time, I did the basing around the bottom of them. I think I need to add just a little bit more in the way of some sand, as there's still quite a gap. I think I'm getting overpowered by the music. Hold on. Music is very rude. Speak over me. Oh, I'm glad I looked. I was rolling around on top of the pauldron. I didn't damage it though, so that's good. Alright, we got all the pieces. Stress-free. Everything's fine. Everything's working. Everything's good. It's good! We're fine! We're gonna get this guy going, and hopefully have him done by the time 11th edition comes out. June 22nd, something like that. I don't remember. Too soon. Too soon. I've enjoyed 10th edition. I would like to play more games of it. I hate to have to relearn new rules when people who've been playing the game for as long as they have still struggle with current rules that have been out for 3-something years. I think that's a problem for the community at large. Not my issue though. Okay. I think I still need to finish up a couple of metallic pieces, base coats on the gold and silver, on some of the weapons, and some other details that I had set to the side that I did not get around to. So we're going to do that. We'll get the lead belcher. Get it nice and mixed up on my vortex. We'll dab that on the palette. Perfect. And I have some holstered pistols, a couple of other smaller details. I just want to go back over and do a quick little layer of my lead belcher on. I got my workhorse out. Just going to go right in and pick at the details. Look at that. But how are you? How are you doing today? Tell me in the comments. Say it in the chat. I read everything. Believe it or not. Everything. Everything. I read it all. Got that little bit of a visible lead belcher there on the pouch. I do have some Retributor armor. Maybe I can still save it. I can save it. And we're going to do the bottom of this with the Retributor. As always, we want multiple thin coats. One thick one is not the answer. My paints that are on the palette right now have the added benefit of having sat on the wet palette for at least 2 weeks now, so they are nice and runny in just the right way. Maybe that's the key to success. Procrastination. A little over here, a little over there, and I think I'm going to do some gold on the skull. Get nice and close so we can see what we're doing. Look at that, magnificent. You know, I actually kind of prefer the headset microphone to having the boom mic in my face the entire time. Maybe now I can actually wear my my magnifying glasses. Look at that, my virginity protectors. And I don't have this whole everything in my face anymore. What a treat. Okay. Little silver, little gold here, a little there. I think I had go back over some of the gold details that got covered up earlier when I did the casings on the gun. Then we can do the teeth on the chain sword as well. This does not look very clean. It's not going to. I think I only did a single coat of the lead belcher on this. I think I kind of figured I was going to be repainting over some of it anyway, due to the nature of the green that I was painting over top of it. Okay. We'll swap over to the lead belcher and just take care of that right now while we still have it directly in front of us. Get right in there. See if we paint over some of the green that I had mistakenly done over it earlier. And we're gonna have to go back and clean up some of the green now too. So, hey, you know, it's a process. A little back and forth. You gotta have some patience. Rome wasn't built overnight. Sneak this brush in here, respect some of the other details that have already been painted. I have to put some more black on the palette. It's super easy to go back and clean up things like the black glove. I'm not too worried about painting over that. I have a feeling I am going to be fighting back and forth between this green and this silver though, so it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, but what can you do? Nice little tremble going. That's going to make this so much easier to do. And because we do have most of the base coats on everything, all we're doing right now is just cleaning up stuff. So I'm going to place this down. We're going to pull out our green again. Nocturne green, our base for our gun casings, and I think I used, what did I use? I think I used AK Interactive's black for my black, so we'll be able to clean the gloves up with that. So dramatic. That's why I pick it. Side, here we go with the Nocturne Green, and we're cleaning up the gun casing. Advantage of the slight hook end of my brush tip. Alright, we're looking pretty green, looking pretty clean. Get our AK black down. Don't need a terrible amount of that. And we can get into cleaning up the gloves. I'm going to use my Kolinsky Sable Round 2. Series 7. Love this brush. Had it forever. And I can really get into these details and control my brush at the same time. So, if you hold your breath with me. We're very, very careful we paint all of these details in and around all of the silver. Even still, we may end up having to come back later to continue to touch up colors like this black. There's a lot of surfaces on the model that are going to be kept in contact no matter what I do. If I'm trying to hold it or turn it over to paint anything. I can already see that some of the red that I painted earlier has started to come off. And that's just a consequence of handling it too much. I'm sure you can wear gloves and everything to make that easier, but I'll be alright. Turns out I paint the stuff. I could just fix it. Still have some of that red on my palette, speaking of, so I'm just going to touch it. that up. Actually, looks like I got some gold on there by accident. Oh well. Clean up a little bit of silver that's on the stud. Clean. Looking good. We are base coat complete on this part of the model. On to the next one. So, pop that bad boy off. Got a pointed finger here. Just touch up some of the rubbed off black on the glove. And having this paint rub off on me is not going to be an issue later on. I'll be varnishing them. That way they're actually safe to touch, and nothing should come off of the model at that point. Not without intentional effort. Give it just a second to dry before I touch it. Take a sip of my beverage. Just a little bit, dry a little faster. Okay. I think our power fist was okay. We can definitely do a little bit more plasma gun here. Gold going. Paint our skull. Prevent some tip dry here. We don't like these metallic flakes getting stuck inside of our brush. It's a little hard to make out the details of the skull right now, but when we go back and do our wash and our highlight on it, you'll be able to see all the little details. Going back in with our black now to clean up the glove. Clean that brush. And we're going to paint our white into for our plasma flow. Might as well just get this out of the way right now while we're here. That way we get a better picture of what it's going to look like when it's finished. We're just going to get all kinds of white paint all over the place anyway, so, I mean, it's alright. We'll just fix it with the black later on. It's not that big of a deal. White down here in these little recesses. Helps to thin it down just a little bit so it runs into it like you want it to. We'll do a white dot on the barrel opening here. I'm not a perfect person. I cannot paint a perfect circle, but I can get really close. Alright, we should be... Well, clean up with the black real quick, like I said, while we're here. Just want to make sure, careful not to paint into the coils. So switch back over to white again, and do that too many times, and you start to build up too many layers of paint. You're going to start getting a chalky appearance. You lose detail. Not a good time. Not a good time. Been there, done that. Don't like it. Visited once, would not stay. I think we're good. Base coats on this plasma pistol. double check our bolter here. There are definitely some details here that need to be gone back over. Ooh, right, sorry about that. Was pretty locked in. Touch up these Aquillas that we have here with some gold. Super clean is the goal. There are a group of little silver rivets and details on this bolt gun. I'm going to go back through and base coat all of the silver one more time. So it looks like I gave it a pretty mediocre coat the first time around. And we can dot out the rivets on the casing. Very careful. More little coat over our muzzles here. Do once more over the details on this end. We base coat up some of that lead belcher. Might look a little crummy now, but it's going to look way better once we shaded it all in and highlighted everything. Now we can get to some of those little rivets. We'll touch up the glove with the black. We are good with the base coats on the bolt gun. You actually see a little bit of the green that needs to be fixed over here, tucked behind his arm. Touch up the silver again. We're down to the nitty gritty, you know? Okay. We're looking good. That is our Power Fist, Plasma Pistol, Bolt Gun, Pointing Hand, Bolt Pistol. I actually think I need to... I did not do the rivets on the Bolt Pistol. We'll take care of that really quickly. Alright. Satisfied. Hello. You're quite the lengthy name. Thank you for joining me. A good roast dinner, Lord of Chaos. Over on YouTube, actually. I don't get a lot of people in from YouTube at all, so welcome to the Crimson Bench. Safe to see for you. Anywhere you like. We are painting a Cadian Castellan in the style of Games Workshop's heavy metal studio. So lots of attention to detail, clean painting techniques. We're nearly done base coating everything. Very exciting stuff. Then we will move into shading and finally highlighting. It's not going to be done tonight. This does take quite some time to do. So I like to magnetize my models so I have every option. So I've got a lot of little arms and guns to paint. But how are you? Not to get too lost in the sauce. Do my best to keep up with the chat, so I talk about anything for free. Here, I'm all ears. A little loose hair there at the tip of the brush, don't need that. If you like the quiet, I hope the music's not too terribly much for you. I don't normally talk an awful lot unless people are yapping away at me. Should have to turn my own music down, it is too loud. Trying to get a look at the chain sword here. They've got it done up. Way around this chainsaw. Looks like we have a gold guard over the hand. I'm going to be painting over some of the gloves here again. That's all right. Trying really hard to compete with Tip Dry right now. I am losing this battle. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Got a couple of little silver pieces to touch up on still. This is back to the lead belcher. Now I've got some green to clean up. Back and forth. we'll get to our green, then we'll clean up our black. Or before we do that, I do have a formula that I use for a lot of my grips on the inside of the handles for things like chain swords, power swords, and all the like. I'll be doing that really quickly before I go into the black. That way I don't have to worry about being too clean. I can just paint right over the black. One more little coat of the gold on the wings. So make sure they're nice and bright. Alright, now we can get into the hilt, which I'm pretty sure I base coat with corn red. Pretty sure. Or not hilt, but the grip. Go. And we're going to get in there with the Kolinsky Sable. This will be going right into that grip. We're going to paint towards the glove, because we can paint back over the glove. I'd rather paint over the glove than paint over the gold. And I think for our grip here, it's going to be as simple as corn red, probably non-oil for the wash, and then Skirmir pink for a little highlight over the top of all of it. And that's going to be it. Super easy. Looks super good. Nice and simple. Right. Now to clean up the black. see a large part of the red on the grip I'd completely ignored. Didn't even realize it was there. I would love for it to stop slipping around in my hands. Going back in with the corn red. Okay. Back to the black. Alright. We're looking pretty good here on our base coats here for our chainsword. Looking good and solid. Back on the rack. And all that remains for us here is the power sword. Definitely need to do another base coat, another layer of the lead belcher on the sword itself. Okay. On the stick. We can go over to our gold now and do the cover, the guard. It almost looks like we have a robot hand on this hand, so we're actually going to do that in silver while we're here too. You should wonder how he lost the original one. Maybe he was a left-handed shooter before he got a plasma pistol. to get the silver all over the place in here. It's going to help the gold lay down better. And red manages to cover silver pretty decently well, so this will be a quick, easy cleanup job. Back to our gold. Just a little bit of water in here to thin this gold back down a little bit, make it run a little bit easier. Alright, we're almost good with our gold base coat. Sneak in here with our red now. Get grip on our sword. Make sure we work around all these little metallic robot fingers. Inspect the gold on the hilt. And there's a little bit of cleanup to do, but it is minimal. For the most part, we're pretty solid. Pretty good in there. Power sword, it does not have a lot of detail now, but when we do the lightning effect that Games Workshop does with their studio style, we got a lot. There's a lot to do there. A lot to unpack. Okay. Just doing a quick little job over some of these silver details. Alright, we'll do the silver, or I'm sorry, the red really quickly. Just like one or two little spots. Then we go to the black, and we're done with the power sword base coats. It's all about attention to detail. Right, now we can cut into the black. Alright. We're base coated on our power sword. Very clean work. Okay, that is all of the hands, pointers, fingers, fists, and a combination of all of the above therein. Looking snazzy. Set that to the side. Do a quick one over on any other details. I think we're good. We painted the face. Very proud of this face. If it ever focuses. That was a problem last time. It's a good face. We have some stuff here I can pick at. Do the red for the handle. When I do paint things with lots of layers and like recessed areas like this, stuff tucked inside of each other, I always start at the lowest layer of the detail first and then work my way back out. I found that's easier than the other way. Alright, we've got good color down for our hilt, or our grip. We'll do some silver for the pommel. Here's a couple of other little details on this guy too I'd like to pick out right now. I'll do silver on these. Only because I can't really tell what they are actually supposed to be. Unfortunately, I can't find a good image of this particular piece on the official model. That part in gold. There are a few more things to do in my red. Let me check my colors really quick. Make sure I'm putting the right stuff down here for some of this. Maybe double check with the website to make sure I have a correct understanding of this thing. Alright, I think we're close enough. There's an interesting mix of colors that are all happening in this small little area. I'm going to do my best to achieve all of it. We'll see how it goes. We have the red scarf kind of texture thing that's going on right there. And then we have what looks to be leather bands that are supported by these silver details and bound to the top. We have the gold, of course. I'll have to do a little bit of silver in there for what is visible of the sword out of the sheath, and then gold trim on the top of the actual thing. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. revive my brown paint. Sneak into our recess with some lead belcher and clean it up. Clean up some of the silver details that got painted over. Alright, then we can go in with the gold and finish up the last of the details here. Just a dot of water, so it runs a little bit better. This is definitely going to need at least one more coat all the way around on all the gold. And we get the nice metallic sheen. most out of this gold right now. Tip try going on, but our base codes are down on our stowed power sword. So do just one more little bit of red to clean up. Clean up around all that gold. This is the corn red. I like it because it has kind of like a waxy sort of color to it. Alright. Check the back side. Time. There's a hair of gold. Actually, we're just gonna do one more coat of gold at the top of the hilt. I put that down a little too thin. And there's a small area on the back side. Alright. I'll do one more little spot of lead belcher here. And try to revive my green armor mix. That way I can touch up just a little bit. Right there. We're good to go. That's another part done being base coated. Good job, everybody. Good job. You know, I'm proud of us. Alright, we have the helmet, the sheath on the back. I do want to go over this and repaint the skull in silver. The double gold looks just a little bit tedious, a little repetitive. Dab that on there, let it do its thing. I'll revive some more of the brown and clean up some of the stuff here. See you, little silver spot. Don't look at my posture right now. Big shrimp mode. Gotta get all the details. Every angle possible. Got a nice holstered pistol there. And I think we're good for details on the actual body itself. It has some blue tack on there. Need to get off. That's okay. For now, check this out. That looks Gucci. I think we are clean. Just a little bit more of the green here. Can't tell if it's dust or a little bit too much silver. There we go. Right. Our backpack is base coated. Our pauldrons, shoulder pads are good to go. Everything is looking good. We'll clean up the black around the neck piece. A little bit got worn off when I was test fitting and holding the model together temporarily. I've got to find a way to make painting faces on stream better for you guys. And drop him back in his place. I think, actually very happy to say that we are done with all of the base coating now on our Castellan. Actually, I really like the way that this came out. This looks really good. Made a lot of really good choices in colors on this. It's a good looking piece. So that being said, that's about all I have in me for tonight, unfortunately. I know. But I just wanted to make sure that I got all of the base coating done and out of the way. The next step will be to start doing some of the recess shading. There are a couple of colors that I cheat a little bit on. So, like for base coats, or you know, for my recess shading, everything like that on my lead belcher, for example, just known oil. It's fine. It's probably the most basic color out of the entire scheme to take care of is the silver. Just lead belcher, known oil, and stormpost silver for edge highlights. Very quick, very easy. The gold gets a little bit more complicated, but it's not as ridiculous. As when we start getting into the rest of the colors that we start mixing the base color with darker colors once or twice deep, and then come back into the highlights again. So we're going to be painting even smaller and smaller recesses into the shades. It's a lot of work. He's a small guy, so hopefully this doesn't take us too long. And once you kind of get into the flow of it, you can get everything done pretty quickly if you're motivated. Not motivated tonight. Very hungry tonight, actually. So if you're here, thanks for watching. If you didn't make it, shame on you. Come on. Come on. It's alright. There's always next time. But anyway, thank you for joining me here on the Crimson Bench. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I'm going to close this lid on the camera now, and you'll still be able to see me or hear me. I'll put this little guy down here. Check him out, you know? Look at all that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be looking really good by the time we're done with it. Bring itself on over here and click this little button. And thank you all again for watching. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I actually didn't even know I had a Twitter. Forgot about that. I have to check on it. Every single stream that I do, including the games that I used to play, look forward to that here soon 11th edition going on the corner can be found there as well. I don't just paint. I play the game too. Crazy, right? I can have my cake and eat it. Nuts. But I'm out of here.